from the center. You think the choice is yours, that you're navigating this world on your own terms. But you're not. An invisible map has already been laid out for you. Every machine, every light, every sound is part of a deliberate design, a strategy crafted by the casino to guide your every move. A former casino floor manager once told me, "We don't leave luck to chance." By the end of this video, you will see the floor through their eyes and understand the secret language of slot machine placement that determines who wins and who loses before a single dollar is ever played. 1. The illusion of choice. How casino layouts deceive you. Before we expose the specific machines to avoid, you have to understand the environment. Casinos spend millions on psychological research to design floor layouts that maximize player engagement and, ultimately, their profits. The winding pathways and seemingly random clusters of machines are meticulously planned to keep you exploring and playing longer. Think of it as a carefully constructed maze where every turn exposes you to a new temptation. Former employees confirm that machines are strategically placed in high-traffic areas like entrances, walkways, and near popular table games to attract your attention. These prominent locations are filled with games that are designed to be visually and audibly stimulating, creating an atmosphere of constant excitement. It's a sensory overload by design. The bright lights, the celebratory sounds, and the communal energy are all meant to lower your guard and encourage impulsive play. But here's the secret. The most visible machines are not always the most generous. They are simply the best performers for the casino's bottom line. The real question is, why? What makes these machines so profitable for the house? And what are they hiding in plain sight? 2. The entrance and end caps. The allure of fool's gold. Walk into any major casino, and you're immediately greeted by rows of the newest, brightest, and most visually appealing slot machines. These are often placed at the entrance and on the end caps, the machines at the end of each aisle, for a reason. They get the most visibility and foot traffic, making them prime real estate. An ex-slot technician I spoke with called these showcase machines. Their purpose isn't necessarily to offer the best odds, but to create the impression of a winning environment. They are often programmed with a higher frequency of small wins, just enough to trigger celebratory sounds and lights that echo through the casino, creating a social signal that people are winning. This is a powerful psychological trick. Seeing and hearing others win, even if it's a small amount, triggers a rush of dopamine and a sense of peer pressure, making you more likely to sit down and play. But don't be fooled. According to casino insiders, these high-traffic machines are often set with a lower return-to-player (RTP) percentage. They are banking on a high volume of play from a captive audience, and their prime location ensures they get it. Have you ever noticed how the biggest jackpots seem to happen in the most visible areas? That's not a coincidence. 3. The branded spectacle. Why movie and TV-themed slots are a trap. It's hard to resist the pull of a slot machine featuring your favorite movie, TV show, or celebrity. These branded games are incredibly popular, but former casino employees warn that they are often some of the worst bets on the floor. The reason is simple: licensing fees. Casinos have to pay a significant amount of money to the companies that own these brands, and that cost is passed on to the player in the form of a lower RTP. An ex-casino procurement specialist went on record stating that these licensing fees can dramatically reduce a machine's payout percentage, sometimes dropping it into the 78 to 81% range, which is substantially lower than non-branded alternatives. These machines are designed to be an entertainment experience first and a gambling opportunity second. They rely on flashy graphics, familiar characters, and elaborate bonus rounds to keep you engaged, making you feel like you're getting more for your money. But in reality, you are often paying a nostalgia tax for the privilege of playing. A pro player move is to always prioritize gameplay mechanics and pay tables over familiar themes. The most boring-looking machine in the corner could have a much higher payback percentage than the exciting new game based on a blockbuster movie. 4. The sucker bet in the sky. Airport and convenience store slots. If you've ever been tempted to kill time at an airport by playing the slots, this insider tip could save you a lot of money. According to former casino workers, airport slots have some of the worst odds you can find anywhere, with RTP sometimes as low as 70 to 75%. Think about it from the casino's perspective. They have a captive audience with no competition. Unlike the Las Vegas Strip, where casinos are constantly competing for your business with better odds, Airport slot operators know you don't have the option to walk across the street. They can set their payback percentages much lower because the demand is constant and the players are often just looking for a way to pass the time. The same logic applies to slots found in convenience stores or bars. These machines are not subject to the same competitive pressures as those in a dedicated casino environment. A former slot technician from Las Vegas was blunt about it. Airport slots are a tourist trap, pure and simple. We know you read just trying to get rid of your last few dollars before you fly home. So, the next time you're waiting for a flight and hear the siren song of the slots, do your wallet a favor and keep walking. 5. The myth of the hot and cold machine. It's one of the most persistent myths in the gambling world. The idea that a slot machine can be hot or cold. You've probably seen it yourself. A player who just won a big jackpot gets up and someone else rushes to take their seat, thinking the machine is on a winning streak. Or a player avoids a machine that hasn't paid out in a while, believing it's cold. Former casino employees desperately want you to know the truth. Every spin is an independent event. Modern slot machines are governed by a random number generator, RNG, a computer chip that generates thousands of numbers per second. The moment you press the spin button, the RNG determines the outcome. The machine has no memory of past spins, and it's not due to hit. The idea of streaky machines is a psychological trick. Some games are programmed with what's called streaky volatility, giving you periods of frequent small wins followed by long cold spells. This is designed to create the illusion of a hot streak, keeping you engaged and chasing that feeling. But the overall RTP remains the same. A casino host once told me, "We love it when players talk about hot machines. It means they're not thinking about the math." 6. The hidden corner, where tight slots go to be forgotten while the high-traffic areas are filled with flashy machines designed for maximum visibility. The quiet, hidden corners of the casino are often where you'll find the tighter slots. These are the machines with a lower RTP, placed in areas where fewer people will play them. Casino floor managers know that not all locations on the floor are created equal. According to one study, moving a machine from a prime location to a less desirable one can significantly impact its revenue. So, they place the less generous machines in these out-of-the-way spots. These might be near the restrooms, in a dead-end corridor, or in a section of the casino with low foot traffic. The psychology here is that these machines are not meant to attract new players with flashy wins. They are for the players who are already deep into their session, wandering off the beaten path. A former casino employee revealed that they would often move machines that were underperforming to these graveyard sections. The pro player move here is to be wary of machines that seem isolated or forgotten. While there's no guarantee, the odds are higher that these machines have a lower payback percentage. 7. Progressive jackpots. The life-changing dream that's almost impossible to win. The allure of a multi-million-dollar progressive jackpot is hard to resist. The flashing numbers, the promise of a life-changing win, it's the ultimate casino dream. But ex-casino workers will tell you that these machines often have some of the worst odds on the floor. A significant portion of each bet is funneled into that massive jackpot, which means the base game has a much lower RTP. You are essentially paying for the small chance of winning an astronomical amount of money. What most players don't realize is that to be eligible for the full progressive jackpot, you often have to bet the maximum amount on every spin. Playing with a smaller bet might still allow you to win smaller prizes, but you'll have zero chance of hitting the big one. This is a common mistake that costs players dearly. One former slot technician described it as a lottery ticket with flashing lights. While someone eventually has to win, the odds are so astronomically high that you are better off playing a machine with a more reasonable jackpot and a higher base game RTP. Would you rather have a 1 in a million shot at a fortune or a better chance of walking away with a modest profit? 8. The loss disguised as a win deception. Have you ever been playing a slot machine, bet $3, and won $1.50? The machine lights up, plays a celebratory sound, and for a moment, you feel like you've won. This is a psychological trick that former game designers call a loss disguised as a win. You've actually lost half of your bet, but the sensory feedback from the machine makes your brain register it as a victory. This is one of the most insidious features of modern video slots. It keeps you in an excited, emotional state, making it harder to realize how quickly your bankroll is shrinking. A study using fMRI scans found that these near misses and losses disguised as wins light up the brain's reward centers in the same way a real win does. This constant positive reinforcement keeps you spinning, even when you are consistently losing money. A former casino employee I spoke to said, "Our goal is to keep you in your seat. If we can make you feel good about losing, you'll play for hours." The pro player move is to pay close attention to your credits, not the celebratory sounds. Always be aware of your actual net win or loss on each spin. 9. The penny slot illusion. The most deceptive game on the floor. Penny slots are perhaps the biggest deception on the casino floor. They lure you in with the promise of low-stakes gambling, but the reality is that they can be some of the most expensive machines to play. The penny denomination only applies to a single pay line, and these machines can have 50, 100, or even more lines. To activate all the lines and be eligible for the bonus features, you often have to bet much more than a penny per spin. It's not uncommon for a penny slot to require a minimum bet of 50 cents or $1 to play effectively, with some max bets reaching $3 or more per spin. Former casino managers admit they love penny slots because they generate enormous revenue from players who think they are being conservative. These players tend to play longer, not realizing how quickly the small bets add up. To make matters worse, penny slots often have some of the lowest RTPs on the floor, usually well below 90%. If you want your bankroll to last, you are often better off playing a single-line, higher denomination machine. 10. The pro player move. How to spot a tight machine. While there's no foolproof way to know the exact RTP of a slot machine just by looking at it, there are some telltale signs that a machine might be tight or have a lower payback percentage. The first thing to do is observe. Watch how other players are interacting with a machine. Are they playing for long periods, or are they getting up and leaving quickly after losing their money? Low player engagement is a big red flag. Another clue is the machine's location. As we've discussed, machines in less visible areas are often tighter. But the most important pro player move is to check the game's information screen. Most modern video slots have a Help or Info button that will bring up the pay tables and, in some jurisdictions, the RTP. While not all casinos are required to display this information, it's always worth checking. If the RTP is below 94%, it's generally considered a tight slot. Finally, trust your gut. If you've been playing a machine for a while and haven't seen any significant wins or bonus features, it might be time to move on. 11. The mindset shift. Playing for entertainment, not profit. This is perhaps the most important of all. The single biggest mistake that losing players make is viewing slot machines as a way to make money. The reality is that all casino games, including slots, have a built-in house advantage. The longer you play, the more likely it is that you will lose. The only way to win consistently is to own the casino. The most successful and happiest gamblers are the ones who treat it as a form of entertainment with a cost, just like going to a movie or a concert. Before you even step into the casino, you should set a strict budget for how much you are willing to lose and stick to it. This is your entertainment budget. If you spend it all, your entertainment for the day is over. Walk away. Don't chase your losses, and don't get greedy when you're winning. A former surveillance operator told me they can spot the players who are chasing losses from a mile away. Their body language changes, they play faster, and they lose control. By shifting your mindset from profit to entertainment, you take back control and ensure that you never lose more than you can afford. 12. Your pre-play checklist. 3 things to do before you spin. Now that you understand the psychology of the casino floor and the secrets of slot machine placement, let's put it all together into a practical pre-play checklist. Before you sit down at any slot machine, do these 3 things. First, check the location. Is it in a high-traffic area like the entrance or an end cap? Is it a flashy branded game? If so, be aware that it might have a lower RTP. Second, check the denomination and the betting structure. Don't be fooled by penny slots. Understand the true cost per spin to activate all the features and make sure it aligns with your budget. Third, and most importantly, check the information screen. Look for the RTP if it's available. If it's not, take a close look at the pay table. Is it overly complicated with a lot of small, insignificant wins? This could be a sign of a machine designed to slowly drain your bankroll. By taking just a minute to go through this checklist, you can avoid the most common traps and make a more informed decision about where to play. It's a simple habit that separates smart players from the rest. 13. The power of observation. what the regulars already know. If you really want to get an edge, take some time to observe the regulars. These are the players who are at the casino day in and day out, and they often know the floor better than anyone. They've seen which machines pay out and which ones don't. They've learned through experience to avoid the flashy tourist traps and focus on the games that offer the best value. You'll often see them in the less glamorous parts of the casino, playing older, simpler machines. Why? Because these machines often have a higher RTP. One former employee told me that some of the older three-reel mechanical slots have RTPs approaching 97 to 98%, which is almost unheard of in modern video slots. The casino doesn't advertise these machines because they are less profitable. So, take a cue from the pros. Watch where they play. Notice which machines they gravitate towards and which ones they avoid. You can learn more from 15 minutes of quiet observation than from hours of blindly playing the most popular games. Have you ever noticed a section of the casino that seems to be filled with regulars? Let me know in the comments. 14. Playing smarter and walking away a winner. We've pulled back the curtain on the invisible strategies that casinos use to guide your choices and maximize their profits. You now understand that the floor layout is a carefully designed maze, that the most visible machines are often not the best value, and that myths about hot and cold slots are designed to keep you playing. You know to be wary of branded games, airport slots, and the illusion of penny machines. The key takeaway is this: knowledge is power. By understanding how the system works, you can make smarter choices, manage your bankroll effectively, and increase your chances of walking away a winner. Remember to always play for entertainment, not as a way to make money. Set a budget, stick to it, and never be afraid to walk away. The ultimate pro player move is knowing when to call it a day. Gambling should be a fun and exciting experience, and if it ever stops being fun, there are resources available to help. Play responsibly, play smart, and may the odds be ever in your favor.